Tonight's agenda, under new business, we have two rezoning requests for your consideration. The first of which, submitted to the town by Mr. Neil Eichhorn. The property in question, 324 South Raleigh Street. For those of you familiar with the area, this is directly beside the Corner Grill property, adjacent to the Raleigh Street townhomes, right on 55. Property in question is just shy of a half an acre, and Mr. Eichhorn has since closed on the property since submitting us his rezoning application. If you turn to page 2 of your staff report, you'll see a zoning compatibility map, a screenshot from the Town of Andrews zoning map showing the surrounding zoning near the property in question here with the red arrow. The current zoning is R10, and the requested zoning is general commercial. I want to point out the zoning districts in the near vicinity. Like I mentioned, this is the Corner Grill site here. This red parcel here is Corner Grill, already zoned general commercial. The light tan of the Raleigh Street townhomes in the Crestview area is also R10. Behind it, this light yellow color is R15. And directly across the street, this is the Fresenius Medical Center, already zoned general commercial. You'll notice here in the chart on the right side of your screen, comparison between the current zoning and the requested zoning of general commercial. The minimum lot size difference is going from 10,000 down to 6,000 square feet. You can see the permitted uses here in the table, in the chart on the screen here. General commercial will allow schools, retail, restaurant, services, and government uses permitted by right. There are some special uses such as light industrial. The current zoning of R10 only allows residential uses. The applicant expressed to me his desire to build a commercial business on the property, thus the purchase and rezoning request. Physical characteristics. This is an aerial screenshot from GIS that's about a year old. You can see the parcel in question is vacant. There is a large ditch that runs along the northern side of the property between the property and the Raleigh Street townhomes next door. It does have considerable amount of street frontage on South Raleigh Street or Highway 55. And there is a small gap between this parcel and the Corner Grill property that serves as an access to the farm behind it. Surrounding land uses, we have both single-family and multifamily uses. We have restaurant right here. We have some retail just across the street and some medical use for Fresenius directly across Highway 55. There is Town of Andrews water and sewer available in the right-of-way of South Raleigh Street. As we always do, we'll take a look at the land use map of the town on page 3 of your staff report. This darker yellow color here is the medium density residential. Just behind it, that orange is the high density residential. You'll notice that the commercial across the street on the land use map did not go far enough to capture the Fresenius Medical Center, which I can only imagine was just simple mapping error. That was already built when this map was adopted.
So would that hold true then for the Corner Grill?
Correct.
And right at the corner of Broad Street and South Raleigh is also that little convenience store.
Yep, absolutely. Those should be red dots on this map because they're already developed. So the requested zoning of general commercial does not align with the suggested land use plan of medium density residential. Of course, as we just discussed, there is existing residential both to the south and to the east across the street. I'll buzz through the staff recommendations here on the next page. The requested rezoning, the impact to the adjacent property owners and surrounding community is reasonable, and the benefits of the rezoning outweigh any potential inconvenience or harm to the community. Staff concludes yes, because the requested zoning would allow for commercial uses that will be compatible with those existing surrounding uses. As we just discussed, the requested zoning district is not compatible with the land use classification. The proposal does enhance or maintain public health, safety, and welfare. And number 4, the request is not for a small-scale rezoning. There are existing commercial pieces in the near vicinity. For those reasons, staff recommends approval of the rezoning to general commercial on the property in question. I do not see the applicant here with us tonight. Does the board have any questions for staff about this rezoning? My understanding is Mr. Eichhorn owns a window tinting shop that he would like to build his first standalone facility.
So this big yellow, I'm sorry, this big yellow behind it, on the future land use map, that's medium density residential, so I'm thinking, I know it's farmland right now, but eventually that's gonna be a neighborhood, right?
It could?
If the farmer gives that up.
Sure.
There's a private farm right behind there. Which is also connected down a little bit. That gentleman owns all of that, back in there, all the way over to Tippett Road. But if you look where his blue arrow is, right up next to it is where the corner grill is, which was what we were talking about. That should be red already,
Right.
okay? So, but
I'm
then
just thinking like, if there was a neighborhood.
it's
I
not,
think what you're getting at is there will be significant buffer requirements if this is rezoned commercial. The commercial adjacent to residential always carries the burden of the buffering. So if that were to be a subdivision one day in the future, Mr.
I think
Eichhorn,
I was more leaning towards why couldn't we just ask for a conditional rezoning? If he's sure that's what it's gonna be, then, he can't sell it later on to be something that you wouldn't want in front of that neighborhood. Possibly in the future, I don't know. I mean, I know right now, it is, but
okay. Are there any uses permitted in general commercial that you feel wouldn't be appropriate in this location? That's special use.
I don't know. I'm just
oh, ouch, let's bring,
I don't want to. I don't know.
All of the heavier users, quote unquote, do require a special use permit. That's that
My-
extra level of protection.
okay, so my only question or my concern is putting a business, the level of traffic coming in and out of there. Do we see any, I mean, the access coming in and the parking?
Like a window tinting, you're gonna have like 4 or 5 cars a day.
Yeah, we're talking.
So that's
Yeah.
not a big deal, but if it was to get sold and turned into something
Yeah.
else where you have a lot of parking and a lot of traffic, I don't know. I feel like conditional for me, I would be way more easy to just be like, yep, let's do it. That's what you want to put there, I'm cool with it. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous to just say yes. I wish he was, I know the commissioners are gonna.
Well, they make the
Ask all
ultimate, they make the ultimate decision. Our job is to basically make sure that the paperwork is in order for it to go before the commission. Well, but you got to look too, which he's not showing on this map, but there is right next to where it is red currently, okay, there is a driveway up there. And you're talking about, you're all looking at it as though it's an open field. There's actually a home behind there with, yes, there's a house right in those woods right there with children.
Is this for the trailer? Wasn't there a mobile
Yes,
home
yeah,
on
there's a
there?
mobile home back there currently with family in it and children.
Oh. And that's a road, not an easement.
Yeah, that's actually a piece of the property.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. It is starting to be, and I think it's. No, that's where that, right next to Fresney, are you looking across the street? That's where that house is currently that Mr. Steve Adams just brought. You can see it's shadowed. Yeah, right there. Who knows? Who knows with, that would be good. Yeah. so general commercial is showing that in the future, should this man sell it for any other reason, anything else can come in except a home or churches. Mm-hmm. And he's going to have a good buffer there to those new townhomes that were just built.
Does he have to do that?
Yeah. All three sides.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Explain that again, Lee. You were saying that the townhomes are commercial? Is that how that's zoned? It's not, it's zoned in, yes, but it's zoned in tan where those townhomes are.
That's R10. Yep.
Okay, it's R10, so it's still residential, it's not zoned commercial. Mm-hmm. Well, I can understand when the fire service part of it, but in the zoning,
It has many commercial standards for
Okay.
apartments. Yeah. Right.
but we would, so we've got on page 3, where you have distribution and manufacturing uses, would require a special permit to, I mean, any little manufacturing thing can come in, but they would have to have a special.
Yes, the Board of Adjustment would be seeing them again.
Okay. Any further discussion before we look at the standards of review and let it go before the commissioners? All right, let's go ahead. The planning board shall consider and make recommendations to the Board of Commissioners concerning the proposed conditional zoning district. The following policy guidelines shall be followed by the planning board concerning zoning districts, and no proposed zoning district will receive a favorable recommendation unless: A, the proposal will place all property similarly situated in the area in the same category or in appropriate complementary categories. All in favor? Raise their hands. Unanimous? There is convincing demonstration that all uses permitted under the proposed district classification would be in the general public interest and not merely in the interest of the individual or small group. All in favor? Opposed? Are you all in favor? Your favor? Okay, all yes. There is convincing demonstration that the character of the neighborhood will not be materially or adversely affected by any use permitted in the proposed change. All in favor? All in favor. The proposed change is in accordance with the comprehensive plan and sound planning practices. All in favor say aye. Okay, unanimous.
We were lowering our hands.
I know.
Starting over here.
It is granted to go before the commissioners. One down.
Okay. Veronica, do you mind switching to the other staff report? Okay, item number 2 under new business tonight is a rezoning request submitted to the town by Mr. Stewart Matthews and Morris Coates, who are here with us tonight. The property in question is 8616 South NC 55 Highway, located just north of the Wake County line. This is the vacant parcel directly across the street from Sunny Skies Ice Cream. to give you some reference. Page 2 of your staff report, there's a zoning compatibility map on your screen here. This dark tan orangish color here is the RA30 district. That is the current zoning of the property. The requested zoning is general commercial. You'll notice general commercial is represented by this pinkish red color all the way down North Raleigh Street back into town, as well as the Sunny Skies property and the Go-Go Auto Sales directly across the street from this one. Just to give you some background on this, and I'm sure the applicants will be happy to provide additional info, this property was in the Wake County zoning jurisdiction for many, many years until 2015 when the town petitioned Wake County to receive this into our ETJ, at which point the town assigned RA30 zoning to the entire ETJ in Wake County, thus removing the prior commercial zoning of the property back when it was in Wake County's jurisdiction. The property owners were actually unaware of this until just a few weeks ago after we met. I met with Mr. Coates to discuss his future plans for the property, and of course the Highway 55 bypass will be impacting it. That's how this came up. The property was rezoned RA30 by the town in 2015 and has been RA30 since. In my personal opinion, it should never have changed back to RA30. I think it should have stayed commercial, just like the properties around it that are already developed for commercial. So now we're just going through the technical steps to put it back in that general commercial zoning. The table on the screen is a comparison of the permitted uses. We just went over general commercial uses at the last item on our agenda. I won't go through those again. These are the RA30 permitted uses, which is our low-density residential and agricultural district as it sits today. Physical characteristics. Here's an aerial screenshot on the map here. The red arrow is the property in question. Vacant parcel. There's the Crepe Myrtle Vet Hospital directly to the south. Sunny Skies, like I said, right across the street. There's the Carolina Charter Academy just northeast of the property. To give you an idea of where the bypass will be affecting the surrounding area in this location, the 4-lane highway will branch off the existing 55 right here through this field, directly north of the property in question. There will then be a service road off of the bypass back onto existing 55 that will partially cut across this parcel. Okay, so this parcel will essentially be right at the intersection of 55 bypass and 55 business, we'll call it. So that positions it very well for commercial use, probably not a single family home. Surrounding land uses include retail, restaurant. We got some professional services just down the street, and of course a charter school is on 55 there. There is Town of Andrew public sewer that actually cuts across the back of this property in the ground as we speak. And there is Town of Andrew water on Highway 55. Land use map here. In your staff report, this light, we'll call it a lavender color. This is our mixed use commercial land use classification. If you recall, back in 2019, those of you who were on the board went through an extensive land use plan update to designate uses along the bypass corridor for a mix of commercial uses. So the requested zoning to general commercial does align with our commercial mixed use classification. I won't read through all 4 of these staff evaluations again. The board is probably very familiar with them at this point. The recommendation is very straightforward on this one. It used to be zoned commercial. It should have remained commercial. It should now be returned to commercial, in staff's opinion. I do recommend approval of this. It will allow for future commercial development right there at our intersection coming into town between 55 Business and 55 Bypass. The applicants are here if you'd like to ask them some questions.
Well, I'm going to ask you, Sean, real quick. I mean, how is this going to affect? I mean, I see the lavender area and where you have the bypass and everything. How is this going to affect the charter school as well? I mean, and you got Bellwood just a little bit above it. You know, we already have traffic issues. I mean, until the bypass comes in, huge traffic issues right now. Are we just rezoning, or are we looking at a business coming in before the
No, no,
bypass?
I'll
Or
let the property owner speak, but I don't think they have any immediate
Okay.
plans to develop.
Yeah, you would almost not know where to put anything, right? Okay, so that really answers that question. By that time, the road issue should be somewhat of a help too to y'all. Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Okay. I think we're all really well versed in A, B, C, and D. All in favor of A, without me having to read it again? All in favor? Unanimous? Are we all in favor of B, C, and D? Does anybody have anything beyond that? Okay, so we're going to go, we're approving all the way A to D, and granting this rezoning request to go to the commissioners.
Right back here, same time, same place. First Tuesday in June is the 7th, and that'll be the public hearing. Thanks, Cass.
All right. And anybody have any old business? Anything further they want to discuss?
Everything we talked about in April was supposed to be voted on May 3rd. Commissioners canceled that meeting. It will be heard May 17th, next Tuesday. So that's the farmers market property rezoning.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, that commissioners meeting got canceled, the town meeting. So anybody that wants to come to that, please do, then you'll see. All right, we're all good to go?
Okay.
Meeting's adjourned.